I don't even know what to play anymore. I don't feel like playing anything anymore. I bought way too many games, and I don't even know what to do with them. I don't even know why most of those games are called that. Why is it called that? Why is it called that?
Mortal Kombat. It's a fighting game, so combat. Mortal, even though they can like bleed like fucking lake loads without dying. Um, I don't know why it's called Mortal because they have like superpowers and shit. When was the last time I did a superpower? Never. And last I checked, I'm mortal. Dr. Mario. Why is it called that? Well, he's Mario, of course. He's a doctor now, apparently. I thought he was a plumber, but he's a doctor now. Why would a plumber ever be qualified as a doctor? I don't know. All I know is I would never want to have his hand up my ass. Fuck!
Yes, that will be a Gamergods Fail special. Why is it called that?
Whoa! Oh,
Oh,
in there? No, don't go in there.
damn.
Tried to warn you.
Thank you for having me, everyone. The Gamergods Fail presents Why Is It Called That? By me, Darian Garnett. So, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been like 8 years since I last made Why Is It Called That? But I've amassed quite a collection in games that I haven't even fucking played, and so I just decided why not revive the series. Only this time, I am actually going to make it one really long video, a nice long special for you guys, instead of having it just be episodes over the course of a month or whatever. I'm just going to do it all at once. One big, confused Gamergods Fail special. So, without further ado, let's begin with Hexen. Why is it called Hexen? Oh god, do I even have... Can I even do this anymore? It's been a long time since I tried playing Hexen. I think I tried playing it first on the Saturn. I tried playing it on the Saturn, and the frame rate was so horrendous. I think I made a video of it like way back in 2012. A shitty ass Let's Play of Hexen. And at some point in time, apparently I picked up a PS1 copy, just the disc. Why is it called that? Well, it's kind of like a gothic fantasy game. There's a lot of magic, so like hexes and crosses and witches, I guess, and mages. Hexen. I think the subtitle is like Beyond Heretic. I don't know what the fuck that means. Your guess is as good as mine. Of course, Final Fantasy. This is specifically 12. But why do they call it Final Fantasy when they keep doing them? That's one thing I never understood as a child. They're called Final Fantasies. Like, what are the first fantasies? What are the second fantasies? Final Fantasy. Part 49. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Scarface, The World Is Yours on PS2. So you play as Tony Montana, aka Scarface, because he's got a scar across his face. If you've ever seen the Scarface movie, you will probably already know enough about the game. The game is about, it's basically an alternate ending where he survives the end. Sorry, I spoiled the end of Scarface, but you know what? If you didn't see it at all, then that's your problem, not mine. Come on, it's Scarface. Who hasn't seen it? Anyway, yeah, you survive the attack on the mansion at the beginning of this, and you just go around and keep doing your business and doing drug deals and killing people, and yeah, it's kind of like a GTA clone, only it's Scarface. This is one of two PSP games I have. The other was Splinter Cell Essentials, which I've already done. I've already talked about Splinter Cell in the previous episode. I'm not doing repeats. So I had to go through all my fucking videos and like pick out the ones that I've already done and just move those aside and just have new series of games I didn't talk about, or a sub-series of games. In this case, EA Replay, it's an EA collection. I think I got this for free actually, because the store that I got this from, I gave them a 5, even though it only cost them $2, but apparently they were doing such shitty business that they couldn't pay me back $3. True story. They're out of business now, by the way. But yeah, I got this for free. And the reason why I got it mainly is because of Road Rash. All 3 Road Rash games in the Genesis are on this. I still haven't gotten a PSP yet, but I really want to find one so I could play the Road Rash trilogy, Syndicate, Desert Strike, Mutant League Football, and a couple others. Like, I really, really want to play this, and I want to find a nice cheap PSP with a charger. I'll just play Road Rash all fucking day long, man. I don't give a shit about these new games at all. I just want to play Road Rash. That's it. I would retire from YouTube just to play more Road Rash. True. You better believe me. Like, I really want Road Rash to come back, too. Anyway, Battlefield Bad Company. I think I did include this, Battlefield 1943, but I just wanted to point out Bad Company. Bad Co. Welcome to Bad Co, bitch. Bad Company is the name of your platoon. I don't really remember why they call it bad. All I can remember is that it's pretty funny. It's got a lot of humor. You get that Walmart smile thing on the grenade. That's a nice little touch there. Not a bad game. I do prefer Bad Company 2, but Bad Company 1 is okay. Good multiplayer, although I doubt anyone's playing, since this came out like 15 years ago. And then we have Dead Space. Why is it called Dead Space? Well, it takes place in space. You're on a ship, a derelict ship, and almost everyone is dead. Look at this cover. What an iconic cover. A severed arm. And it looks like Isaac's arm. It's like, yeah, you're gonna die in this game. And it's gonna be fucking bloody. And it is. And the remake is just as good, if not better. Ghostbusters. You play as the Ghostbusters. Specifically Peter, I think. I played this a couple years ago. It's really good. Probably by far the best Ghostbusters game ever made. Although I do like the one on Genesis too. Nier. Why is this called Nier? I really don't know. I got the platinum in this game 3 years ago. I played the shit out of this game. I got every ending. I even manipulated the clock on my PS3 to get that one trophy where you had to like cultivate different fucking plants, and it needs to take like actual days for them to fucking grow. So I had to use time manipulation on my PS3 clock to get the fucking platinum in this game. And I still don't know what near means. What does near mean? What does N-I-E-R mean? I know what N-E-A-R means. It means you're next to something, or something is next to another object. But what the fuck is near with an I? I don't get it. Do they just like shit out names and just like, here you go. It's Kaluba Nanchuka. Now in Spanish. Yaiba. Yaiba. Ninja Gaiden Z. This game is so bad that it could have been called Yowza, and it would still make just as much sense. Yaiba is the name of the ninja. You don't play as Ryu, or is it Ryu? Ryu Hayabusa, is that his name? From the other Ninja Gaiden games? No, you play as Yaiba. I'm gonna sell this. Shenmue. This is a tough one. I know what Shen means. Shenhua is this girl right here. She's predominantly in the third one, and at the end of the second one. But what does Mew come from? No, Mu. Is it Mu? Is it Mew? Is it Mue? Like Italian or something? Nah, it's Japanese. But still, what does Shenmue mean? There's gotta be an explanation at some point in this trilogy. You know, at some point, I just stopped caring and I embraced the games for what they are, okay? The darkness. You play as a guy named Jackie, and he gets taken over by like these dark, kind of like tentacle monsters, and they're called the Darkness. You just go around fucking shit up as Jackie Estacado. Don Quelo. Dirt. It is a kind of an off-road racing series. Although they do have Dirt Rally, which is more of a rally racing series. Yeah, it's called Dirt. That's simple. That's simple. I like simple titles. Do you like simple titles? Dirt. What next? Are they gonna make a racing series called Mud? Or how about make a bunch of tracks that are made out of baby diapers and have it be called Shit?
Shit!
Food for thought.
Shit!
I remember buying this and then selling it and then buying it again to give it a second chance. Divinity 2, Ego Draconis. Ego Draconi? Divinity, it's a magical series, the Divine Powers, it's the second one. Ego, I don't know, you have a large ego, and you can transform into a dragon in this game, so, not really worth talking about any more than that. Enemy Territory Quake Wars. I almost said Quaker. So this is kind of like a Quake take, a Quake take on the Enemy Territory series. It's like a strategy franchise, and I'm not really familiar with it past this title though. I don't think they're still making them. This was a long time ago. It's just kind of speaks for itself. It's an Enemy Territory game, but with a Quake spin. It's another one of my games, one of my many games I still need to get to. Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor is the highest commendation a soldier can get in the United States military, and apparently you earn it in this game. Or maybe not. Maybe they just use that title as a flagship, kind of like, Call of Duty, even though Call of Duty doesn't mean anything in the actual story of Call of Duty. Lost Odyssey. This is a RPG exclusive to 360, and you're lost, and you're on an odyssey. It's no wonder why I stopped making these fucking videos. The Orange Box. You know what frustrates me about the Orange Box? Is that, yes, the cover is orange, but the case is still green. And I'm missing the instruction booklet. The instruction booklet, I think, is orange. But the case is still green. I wanted the orange case. You call it the Orange Box, not the orange sleeve. This is a really good compilation, though. It comes with Half-Life 2 with the added episodes. It comes with Portal, and it comes with Team Fortress 2. And to my knowledge, I think a lot of people still play Team Fortress 2. Probably because they never bothered making a Team Fortress 3. I don't know what it is with Valve. They don't make 3s in all their series. They've never made a Half-Life 3. They've never made a Portal 3, a Team Fortress 3, a Left 4 Dead 3. No, they always stop it at 2. And I don't understand. Just make 3s. And then combine them into like remastered trilogies. Ugh! They're too lazy, though. There was a time when Valve used to be like the greatest Western developer in the world. Overlord. You play as this knight. It's another strategy. It's like a top-down strategy, I think. Or at least it's another one of these I haven't actually played. But it's like a strategy game where you control up these minions right here. These little goblin little-like creatures and wreak havoc. This is one of those few games where you actually play as the villain, kind of like the evil. And it's supposedly like really fun and just crazy, and you just get a lot of fun out of it. Yeah. Sacred. Sacred 2. Fallen Angel. Why is it called Sacred? Light or shadow, you decide. It's just another fancy word for magic RPG. You know? Sacred, Divinity, Magic the Gathering. It's all the same bullshit. They all mean the same, okay? Hexen. Warcraft. Syndicate. I already mentioned Syndicate in my EA replay, but this is a remake of the original Syndicate. That Electronic Arts made, and then, the EA. Business is War. I think that's a good enough explanation as I can make it on why Syndicate is called Syndicate. Time Shift. Here's a really interesting game. You have it's like a sci-fi game, but you have these powers where you can manipulate time and stuff. This is actually one of the games that I did play a pretty good amount of. And you can stop time and take other people's guns while they're frozen and turn them against them, and it's actually really cool. I would love a remake of this game. It's actually a pretty good game, Time Shift. It's definitely an overlooked game. It didn't get the best reviews, but I actually like Time Shift quite a bit. Allow me to surprise you with a few Saturn games. Yeah, Sega Saturn games. These just showed up on my shelf. They just appeared on my shelf. I didn't get them. I don't know where they came from. They just showed up on my shelf. Saturn games are very hard to come by. I don't know who did this, but thank you. Anyway, Area 51. Did I already do this? I thought I had this on PS1. Where's my PS1 copy? Anyway, yeah, you storm Area 51. Yep, and you fight aliens. You know, this cover always bothered me. This alien doesn't look like an alien. It looks like some guy got turned into a burnt hot dog. Like, it looks like Burnt Hot Dog Man. Burnt Hot Dog Man. I'm not even high or drunk right now. That's what he always looked like to me. Off-World Interceptor Extreme. Now, this game is actually pretty funny. It's like an off-world vehicular combat game, except there's commentary in Extreme, and it's like I think this is the one I'm thinking of, where it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000 or something, or it kind of reminds you of that, and it's like people talking over the video game. It's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty unique concept, and honestly, I've always dug this game. It always gave me some good laughs here and there. I wonder if any of these games if I could sell them, I might be able to make a little bit of moolah. You know, because Saturn games are they're getting rarer and rarer, you know, which also means the demand is getting higher and higher for collectors. Panzer Dragoon Zwei. This is the second Panzer Dragoon game. I don't know what Zwei comes from. It must be Japanese for something, because I know Herzog Zwei, so I don't know what Zwei means, but it means something. Comment down below if you know the translation, because I would like to. Robotica. Never played this one before. This looks like a first-person shooter, kind of. Do you fight a 29th century metropolis enslaved by the brutal robot enforcers? So you fight robots, basically. I should give this one a try one of these days. And now I'm going to fast forward in time and show you some Wii U games. Bayonetta. Why is it called that? Because you play as a witch named Bayonetta. I think her name is actually Cereza, but people call her Bayonetta because she's got bayonets on her feet, I think. It's a crazy series. The first one's my favorite. The second one's alright. I hate the third one. I traded the third one and I bought God of War Ragnarok. Donkey Kong Country. You play as Donkey Kong, and they call it country because these are kind of like open world. It's like Super Mario World, except it's Donkey Kong, and you can travel from stage to stage. Tropical Freeze. You have frozen abilities, I believe, and you know, you can use these frozen abilities in tropical places. Tropical Freeze. I wish this series had more variety. Not Donkey Kong. I'm talking about why is it called that. Like, I feel like half the time I'm like putting one and one together, or you know, two and two together, and be like, hey, that's why it's called that. You know, duh. NES Remix. it's basically a compilation of like old Nintendo games. You know, you got Super Mario Bros, Zelda, Donkey Kong, the original Metroid, and it's like kind of like a remaster of that. Oh, so this includes remix. This is the remix pack. So this has both one remix and two remix. So it's like a double compilation. Um, it's cool to have. You know, I've always liked compilations. Super Mario Maker. This is one that I admittedly haven't tried yet, but I really want to. It looks so fucking fun, and I want the second one on Switch too. Super Mario Maker. You get to make your own Super Mario levels. Um, it just looks so much fun. I've always loved user-generated content ever since I was a little boy, man. When I was playing Tenchu 2 or SimCity or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater with the Park Editor. I always loved it. Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's part of the Xenoblade games. I'm not sure what X means. It's not like it's the 10th one or anything. I think this is actually like the second one. Because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was on Switch, and the first one was on the original Wii. And this is kind of like the middle. I'm not sure if this is a remaster. I think it's its own game. Xenoblade. Uh, they're like mech RPGs. And lastly, the only Switch game I own physically at the moment. I sold Monster Hunter Rise. In Monster Hunter, you get to hunt monsters. I don't know what fucking Rise means, but Metroid Prime Remastered, I had to get this. Metroid Prime, they call it that because it's the best Metroid game, arguably, right next to Super Metroid. Metroids are these really dangerous aliens that you fight, and this is the remaster. This is depressing the hell out of me, man. I own a shit ton of PS4 games. That entire top shelf is PS4. All of it. And some of these I haven't even opened yet, let alone played. Baldur's Gate. Why do they call it Baldur's Gate? This is 1 and 2. I don't know. Is some guy bald? Is he a gatekeeper? Baldur. Baldur has to be something. Baldur. Baldur's a Norse god, right? Baldur's Norse. So I think a Norse god. I don't know. Kind of makes me want to play it. Bloodborne. Bloodborne disease. Very disgusting, nasty world. It's a gothic plague. It's Bloodborne. Yeah, I had this game and then I sold it. And I regretted it because I had forgotten that I didn't play the Old Hunters DLC. So I had to buy it again. This is the PlayStation hits, and I like how it's a red case. It's Bloodborne. It's blood red, you know. Haven't even opened it yet. I just haven't got the time to go back to it. Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night. I don't know where they get Bloodstained from. Is it supposed to be like Dark Souls Bloodstains? You know? Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night is like a spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night. It's a really good Metroidvania game. It's one of my favorite Metroidvania games of all time. And by far one of my favorite games of 2019. If you love these types of games, definitely pick this one up. I am drooling. I'm literally drooling just thinking about playing this again. Ugh. Oh my god. Cyberpunk 2077. Why do they call it cyberpunk? Because it takes place in the cyberpunk board game universe, I guess, but it's also like a cyberpunk game in the theme sense. And 2077 is the year that it takes place. I think 2077 is the year that this game should have come out. Get it? Because it was a buggy piece of shit. Days Gone. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie game where you drive around your motorcycle, kind of like a survival game, and you play as this guy, Deacon St. John. The days are gone. The old days, the days gone. I probably could have come up with a better title for a zombie game than Days Gone, but whatever. Destroy all humans. Pretty self-explanatory. You play as an alien and you go around messing up humanity, messing with people's brains and possessing them and blowing up their heads. Pretty fun. Fun little series, that. Disco Elysium. Why is it called Disco Elysium? There ain't no disco in this, is there? You play as a detective, and this is kind of like your sidekick, and it's kind of like an investigation RPG. But what is disco about it? It's not like it takes place in the 70s. And what the hell is Elysium? What does that mean? I feel like they just put two random words together and then make a good game out of it. Like, okay, what does it mean? Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot. You play as Goku, I think. It's like a Dragon Ball Z RPG. You play as Kakarot. And Dragon Ball is is it 7 Dragon Balls? Or am I thinking of Chaos Emeralds? I thought there were 7 Dragon Balls. I could be mistaken. Maybe there's only 6. I thought there were 7. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched Dragon Ball Z, dude. Dreams. A game where you can make your own games and levels, and you can dream up a bunch of different shit. I didn't play this for a lot. I got confused by a lot of the different mechanics, so it's probably one of my lesser favorite user-generated games, but it's still pretty cool. Dreams. The Evil Within. You're kind of like stuck in a crazy man's mind, at least the first game, not so much the second game. But I do prefer the second game, at least in terms of gameplay. The Evil Within. The Psychotic Within. Far Cry. Why is it called Far Cry? Far Cry is an actual term that you use to describe distance. And these are mostly open world games, even though the first one wasn't really open world. It was like open-ended chapters. These are open world. Far. I don't know where Cry is from. I don't know. I don't know why you call it these. Hades. This one's a little misleading. You don't play as Hades. You play as Hades' son, Zagreus. And Hades is basically the last boss, aka your daddy. Fight Hades. Although he does have the most dialogue. I read that Hades has the most dialogue in the game. Right? I could be mistaken. But yeah, this is one of the best games I've ever played. It's my 2020 Game of the Year. It's probably my favorite game of the decade so far. If you haven't played Hades, get Hades. It's like a perfect indie action game. Like, it's like fucking perfect. Like, it's a 10. It's a 10. Okay? Hades is a fucking 10. If you disagree, you're wrong. I'm just fucking with you. Though, if you didn't like Hades, I'd question your taste in video games altogether. Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is a kind of a buggy game, but it's a really interesting survival medieval game where you play as a kid named Henry. Um, Deliverance means you're pretty much like on a quest for vengeance, and Kingdom Come is kind of like kingdoms are forming, I guess. Get out of my way! Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. This is a game that caused a studio to go bankrupt. I think it was like Peyton Manning's gaming company or some shit. Like, why is Peyton Manning a game advisor? Like, what the fuck? It was Peyton Manning, right? It wasn't Eli Manning. It was Peyton Manning, I think. Studio 38, is that what they were called? I don't know, but they remastered it. Kingdoms of Amalur, and Amalur is the realm. Re-Reckoning. Oh, it's Re-Reckoning. It's a remaster of Reckoning. Reckoning, yeah. Reckoning basically means shit's about to go down, right? You know, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. Really underrated action RPG. I like this one very much. I played the original on PS3 way back in like 2013, I believe. Good game. Okay, so we have the entire Yakuza series to go over, alright? This is bonkers, alright? You got the Yakuza series, you know. This is the remastered collection. I think it has 3, 4, and 5. You just play as Kazuma in the Yakuza. But then you also have the Judgment series. This is Lost Judgment, but it's the second Judgment game. I don't know what Judgment means. I don't know what Lost Judgment means. I mean, judging by this cover, it looks like he's like peeking through, looking at like some fucking girl getting undressed or some shit. You know, it's like ooh la la. It's like, what the fuck you doing, dude? Like, what's he doing? What is he looking at? Is he uncovering something deep? Like a conspiracy theory? I don't get it. And then you got the Like a Dragon spin-offs. Or maybe they're not spin-offs. Maybe they're full-fledged titles. But this one, Like a Dragon, I think Like a Dragon is actually the original titles in Japan of Yakuza, which is fucking confusing, right? And this is like a turn-based RPG. The new Like a Dragon game that came out earlier this year is not a turn-based RPG. It is like a hack-and-slash game that takes place in like 1800s Japan or something. Very confusing. This series is bonkers. It's very hard to keep track of all of them. It's very hard. Oh, I almost dropped them all. Oh, that would have been bad, but very hard to keep track of, and I have most of them. I probably will never have time to play them all. Neo. One of my favorite games of 2017 is Neo. I played this game for over 100 hours, and I don't really know what Neo means. It's not like the Matrix. It's not like this guy's name is Neo. My name is Neo. It's like his name's William. I don't know what Neo means. It's, you know, another word for Japanese bullshit. I don't fucking know, man. I play the game and I like it. That's it. I don't care what Neo means or what Nier means. Or what Gaiden means or Xeno means. Xenomorph? I don't fucking know. The Outer Worlds. This is a space RPG. It's kind of like Fallout in space, basically. It's made by the same studio that made Fallout New Vegas. And you basically just go around exploring planets. Yeah, The Outer Worlds. Good game. Persona. Specifically Persona 5 Strikers. This is like an action hack and slash version of Persona 5. I think it has its own story. It takes place after Persona 5, I believe. Persona are basically turn-based RPGs where you play as like a high school student, but then you have like these powers and like kind of like dream sequences, and you can change your persona, kind of like The Mask with Jim Carrey, except yeah, you put on the mask and you become like a really powerful entity, I guess. Pillars of Eternity. I don't know. More magic bullshit. Oh my god, GameStop, stop putting your stickers on shit. It was $59.99, and it was $49.99. Now it's $29.99. Thanks for letting me know. Put a big ass sticker in front of the goddamn logo. I can't even read the fucking game. Planescape Torment with Icewind Dale. Shit. I think Icewind Dale is a realm within the, Dungeons and Dragons. These are Dungeons and Dragons games. It's not like Dale from King of the Hill is in this game, okay? Don't get mistaken, King of the Hill fans. But, Planescape Torment, I don't know, maybe it's about torture? I've never played the vast majority of these games, okay? I'm sorry. Now, I haven't played this one yet, but I kind of already know what this one's about. Sniper Ghost Warrior. It's kind of like Sniper Elite, in a way. Except it's, first person, I think. And, Ghost Warrior, I mean, it's basically the same as Sniper Elite. Like, you're a sniper, you're like this really elite sniper, but you're also really good at stealth. Ghost Warrior, you're undetected. You're like the best of the best, right? And Contracts is basically more mission oriented, where you take on contracts and you do them. They're not great games. Like, they're not as polished as Sniper Elite, but I don't think they're terrible either. They're okay. Stardew Valley. This is an indie game made by only one guy, and you basically make your own town and your own farm, and you can just like develop stuff and help people move out and move away and stuff. Really interesting game. Has a lot of like nostalgia to it, you know. I mean, it looks like a 16-bit, you know, kind of Zelda SNES style to it. You know, a lot of nostalgia hitting. It comes with its own soundtrack, which is really cool. I'll probably never get rid of this game only because it's got the soundtrack. Like, I can't get rid of games that have the soundtrack. Come on now. Street Fighter. Why is it called Street Fighter? You're a fighter, and oftentimes it takes place on the streets. Although, oddly enough, there were only 2 locations in Street Fighter 2 that only took place on the streets. Although, this one makes the most sense. Street Fighter 6 fits the Street Fighter name the most because it has a world tour that literally takes place on streets where people pick fights with you. Like, it's perfect. It's a great fucking fighting game, man. I can't get enough of Street Fighter 6. Like, if you're a fighting fan, there's no reason why you shouldn't have that game by now. And, The Surge. The Surge is a Souls-like, only it's sci-fi. I'm not sure what surge means. I do know that you can knock different limbs off of robots, and so you can dismantle them that way, but maybe you could probably electrocute them. They can cause an electrical surge. You can fry robots. And that finally does it for my PS4 games. We're almost done, guys. We're on the final stretch. let me just show you some few Xbox One games and PS5 games that I've gathered this past year, and also why is it called that for certain consoles. One really boggles my mind, but we'll get to that when the time comes. Forza Horizon 2. Why do they call it that? Because it's a Forza game. Is it Forza or is it Forza? They say it's pronounced Forza. Forza. Replace the Z with a T and an S. Forza. Horizon is kind of like the second series of the franchise. It's more open world. It is open world, and there's Horizon festivals and stuff, and yeah, open world racing game. I really enjoy these. Now this one, I'm not quite sure if I did before in the past, but in case I didn't, Fallout. I shouldn't really need to explain this one for you. You know, post-apocalyptic games, nuclear fallouts. You've either played one at one point in your life, or you've been living your whole life under a rock. That's all there is to it. Now, Gears of War, I did mention in the past why it's called Gears of War. What I didn't mention, though, is Rare Replay. This is a combo. I mainly got it for Rare Replay, but I couldn't find just Rare Replay, so I just got this at the time. Rare Replay is a collection of most of Rare's best games from the N64 era. It's got, it's got Perfect Dark, it's got Banjo-Tooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and a few others. It's a really good collection, too. And I think it's on Game Pass as well, for those of you who are interested. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, one of my favorite games of the last decade. It won a shit ton of awards. It won like a lot of technical awards. The girl who played this won pretty much best performance from every other goddamn award circuit. I'm gonna start over. Shit. It's about a girl named Senua, and she needs to let go of a piece of her past, and that's her sacrifice. Not really sure what Hellblade means, but when you play it, it feels like you're in hell. And she has a sword, so Quantum Break. Not to be confused with Quantum Theory. Quantum Break, and not to be confused with Quantum Leap, the TV show. Quantum Break is a sci-fi game, sci-fi third-person shooter. We get to control the guy who was in that fucking X-Men movie. He was also in Animorphs too, I think. And it's a time control game. You get to freeze time and shoot people. It's kind of like Time Shift in a way. It's another good game. Wasteland takes place in a wasteland, a post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear America, similar to Fallout, very similar. Maybe not so much by gameplay. These are all turn-based RPGs. I think I prefer playing these ones more, though, nowadays. They're more challenging, and they require more thought. Wasteland. It's actually one of my favorite series. Now we're on to PS5. We're finally on to the PS5s, the present day games that have come out either last year or the year before. This is the Callisto Protocol. Haven't tried it yet. I hear it's like a poor man's Dead Space. I hear the combat is trash. I hear the story isn't that great. But it still looks good, and I decided to get it when it was on sale for like $30, so even if it's crap, at least I didn't waste that much money on it. Deathloop. I hear this game is very divisive. You either love it or you hate it. I just want to go on a whim. All these PS5 games I'm showing you, I haven't even played yet, so I don't even know. But Deathloop is a time loop game where I guess these two go at it, and I think this is the main character and this is the main villain, if I'm not mistaken. Break the time loop. Yeah, you just go around killing people. It's by the same studio that made Dishonored and Prey, and I love those games, so I just got this. I might not like it, but you never know. Life is Strange. They call it Life is Strange because these are like episodic anthology games. They're kind of like they're narrative driven, and there's not a lot of gameplay to them. But Life is Strange is always about people who have certain quirks or superpowers, so to speak. And True Colors, this is the latest installment, and you play as a girl who has really powerful empath abilities, who can kind of sense. She can sense a good person from a piece of shit, I guess. That's where True Colors comes from. She can read a person's true colors, metaphorically speaking. It's not like she looks at someone and then she sees a fucking rainbow, like if they're gay or something. You know, True Colors is metaphorical. New Tales from the Borderlands. This is another narrative-driven game. It's the second Tales from the Borderlands game in that series. I think it's a collaboration between Gearbox, the people who made Borderlands, and Telltale. I love the first Tales games, and I heard this one isn't nearly as good, but still alright. So, oh, and it includes Tales from the Borderlands, so I get both. Alright, I don't even think I know that. So I could replay the first Tales from the Borderlands game. I'm getting tired, man. I got one more game to cover, and then I got two more consoles to cover. I'm getting tired. I'm doing this all at once. It probably wasn't a good idea. But this is Sifu, or Saifu, or Sifu. Vengeance Edition. It comes with a bunch of other shit. Art book. It's got a good new game smell to it. Kind of, I might have overspent for this. I mean, I got this when it first came out for like 50, or maybe not first came up, when I first saw it for $50. I just never even opened it, but it looks cool. It's like a beat 'em up, a linear beat 'em up, but it's also like a, what do they call it? Roguelike. It's like a roguelike beat 'em up. And you get older every time you die, like a year or two older, or whatever. And the age increases the more you die. I don't know why it's called what it's called. I don't even know how to pronounce it. All I know is I hear good things. I'm tired, and I got this thing to cover. Nintendo Switch. Why do they call it Nintendo Switch? I have a couple ideas on why they call it Nintendo Switch. This, of course, being Nintendo Switch Lite. It's the handheld portable version of the Switch. You can't use it on your TV or anything. It's the weaker version, but it's still pretty good. Nintendo Switch. You can switch it from TV monitor, or you can play it on in your hand. You can also switch the controllers. I can't really make a good demonstration because all I have is the Switch Lite, but the Switch has these kind of like nunchucks, but you can like take them off and you can play them on something else. Nintendo Switch. I don't know what it is with Nintendo. I mean, they always name their something fucking weird. Nintendo Wii, Wii U. You know, I remember when the Wii U was first announced as something else, I thought they were going to call it the Wii Wii. But understandably why they chose to change it. if they were planning to call it Wii. But what about Xbox Series X? What the fuck? I mean, I don't even... Xbox One, I kinda understand now. It was intended to be an all-in-one console. Still confusing as hell and still stupid. But Xbox Series X as the fourth mainline Xbox console. And then there's Xbox Series S, which is the smaller digital-only version. So I assume S means small, S for smaller, or S for mini, or whatever. But still, what does series mean? Why even put series there? Why not just put Xbox X? Xbox S. They're the worst. Not the consoles, but the names. They're the fucking worst. Even 360 didn't even make sense. Why do they call it 360? It's not like your console is spinning around in your room. Why did they call it Xbox? You know? Why not pimp it up a bit and call it Sexbox? I'm done. I don't know why they call it Series X. When there's already an X in the X. There's two X's in the Xbox, and you add another X to the X's? What's the matter with you? I've had it. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this, Why Is It Called That special. You're not going to get another one ever again. I got hundreds of different games on digital. Not that I could prove to you that I have them, because PlayStation would allow me to capture the games that I have on, clips. But I'm just done. This was a bad idea to begin with. It was all a bad idea. It was a bad idea in 2014. It's a bad idea now, 9 years later. Goodbye, and thank you for watching. Fucking games. Fucking get rid of all my fucking games.
The Gamergods Fail! 2 worlds. If by 2 worlds you mean I fell through the floor and now I'm in another dimension of game space, then you, sir, are correct. Arcade compilation disc. Open heart surgery. Boom Boom Rocket? I already have one. Open heart surgery. Again? God, I think I'm gonna die pretty soon. Why the hell is Chris Redfield making a scared Kirk Douglas impersonation? No, seriously. Why do they call it Siphon Filter? Because it's the name of the virus in the game. The Siphon Filter virus. I gotta go to the bathroom, hold on. Tenchu. 10. Tenchu! Fucking hate it. Fucking hate you. Don't blame it on the game. I mean, it's not San Andreas' fault. I made another funny. Diablo! Why do they call it that? Because that's actually the name of the bad guy in the series. Yeah, I know. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Figure it out. I am so high. You guys want to see my predator face?
What the hell are you?
Ah! Whoa! The fuck? Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Come on, please.